Hi everyone. Today I'm going to take you into the tutorial of how to create this advanced web page. This web page is very much responsive, and there are a lot of features included within this web page. So today we are going to create this web page all by ourselves, and after that you can practice, do some exercises on how to create this web page. But before I take you into the tutorial of creating this web page, I just want to show you some feature of this web page and how it works. So whenever you scroll the mouse over, everything works smoothly, and depending on if you want to select like that, but I have not yet include any link with it. Yeah. So probably after we finish and you have created this all by yourself, you can include some link, and then as you click this, it will definitely go to another page. Any of this, you can also change the names to anything you want. Is fine. I just use this name as an example. It's not permanent. You can change it to anything you want. And also you got some option down, scroll down option, you see. And then one good part about it is that you can also search within this web page. You can also search, is fine. You can also search within this web page. You also fine. Depending on the informations linked with this web page, you can search. And this web page is very much responsive. You see, like if you try to resize it, it works. You see. So the basic informations for the login is just always like exposed in a way that no matter how you resize it, you can still input the informations within the page. You can still input the informations within the page. So if you scroll the mouse over, you see you can select and female or male. You can select any gender and input password, confirm password, and so on, like that. So there are couples of videos coming up, including this one, and I just need you to subscribe to this channel, support this channel. But before then we go into our tutorial, I just want to show you some few things that you can be aware of. Now at first I want you to know that there are some couples of languages that I will be teaching on this channel, and you got JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Java animations, C++ language, C language, and then I will also be teaching you some deep details of database, like that. Mainly, because what happens is that after we have created all of these things, we need to connect it with database so that it can work. Because if you want to input a password, or you want to input someone's name, you want to learn how to do it using a lot of accounts, so many different accounts, and then using one page, you need to link it with a database. Database is very important in most of our works. So at this time, there are couples of things we will be doing, but I need your support so that I can have time to do all of these things. You see, like I'll also be teaching you some basic part of Python language, and like depending on what you want to do, all these languages they are quite important. And here you got and others. Maybe there are some things that are not listed here, and probably you want to know. You can also comment down below, or you can contact my WhatsApp number. This is my WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp number. You can contact me, and then we can communicate better. And one thing is you can help to subscribe, because through your subscriptions I can do more videos and to support this channel as well. So help me to subscribe. Just subscribe, and then I can do more videos for this channel, like that. So if there is anything probably that I've said and you didn't get, you can also comment below, or you can contact my WhatsApp number. Like that is fine, and we can do the better and more better. So at this time, we will try to create this our web page, our login web page, and everything you see here, we will create it all by ourselves. And before then, I just want to show you some very important compiler that maybe because like there are some of you, either it's your first time to program, or you have been programming for a while, or maybe you just beginning to do a web page design, which is good. Do not think you are left behind, because I'm going to take my time to teach this tutorial very well, so that everything that I will say you will get it, and everything I will do you can understand what I'm doing, and you can also able to do by yourself. But before then, there is a compiler that I usually use to do most of my work. This compiler is, some of you who are not familiar with it, is called Visual Studio Code, and this is the compiler. Like that, you can download this compiler. Any versions of it is fine, and like you can download the Windows versions or the Mac versions, or you can also put in for the Linux versions. It's fine, and at most times is what I use to do most of my work for this web page. I also have a couple of videos that I did some other classical page web design and things, which will be coming up soon. So as you subscribe to my channel and you click down the notifications button, so that when I post a new video you can be aware, and you you will notify that like we have a video up, and you can go through the tutorial. Okay, so at this time I just want to take you to the tutorial of this web page design and how to create it all by yourself. So like I said, we are using this compiler, Visual Studio compiler. So now, but before then, uh most of us who really don't are not familiar with this compiler, at first you want to create a web page or anything probably in this compiler, you have to create a file. So if you don't have any folder within this compiler, you just click here to file, and you come here to a new window, you click, and then there's an option that will come up with a new window. These are all files I have here. These are recent files, but just in case if you don't have a file, you just like open new folder or add workspace, and then after you have created a workspace, like now you just give the folder name, or you add folder like this. You just create a folder name, then after that you can create a file name within the folder. But for this tutorial, actually I'm not going to create a new file, because I already have a file within this compiler, so I'm not going to create a new file. So I'm just like going to add some web template that we can use. I'm not actually going to create a folder, rather I'm just like adding a new template here that we can use. So now we give the name of our web page. Let's say ADV uh, web page. So now what usually happens for this compiler is that at times you usually use HTML, hypertext maker language, or you use JavaScript, or you use CSS. Now, how do you know the difference between them? Sometimes, like some of my students, they found some common mistakes, like when they are creating file, and they get mixed up with, like if you put HTML, like the person don't know which one. Now, here you got like the picture, something like red. It simplify the differences between when you are using CSS, you are using JavaScript. Because if you're creating a folder and you put JS, that means to say this folder is only for JavaScript. this folder is only for JavaScript. Only JavaScript can go within this folder. Or you put CSS dot CSS. Now, if you put .css, it's only for CSS. That means the template, the folder you creating is only for CSS. But if you put HTML, which is for HTML, but CSS can go with it, and that of JavaScript can go with it. You can include CSS, you can include JavaScript. So, like at most cases, some of my tutorial, I create separate web pages for some of them, and some tutorial I also just do one web page. Like I do all of the stuff, the work, the coding on one page for the HTML, and then I include everything CSS, JavaScript. So do not get confused. Maybe for this tutorial, I will do separate pages so that you cannot get lost. So you can load it both sides, because some of us we are acquainted with creating one page and doing some of our work. But it's good at times to create a single page that you can do most of your work, all of the coding. But if the codes are many, if you have to do too much writing code, it's not quite necessary that you do it once on a single page. Except you understand what you are doing is fine, but in most cases, it's good to create separate pages for your code so that you can understand how you are doing things, most especially when the codes are many. So for this page, we create our HTML first. So after writing this, you put dot. Don't always forget to put dot, because the dot will simplify everything. You put dot, then you put HTML. If you want to create CSS page, you put dot, you put CSS. If you want to create a page for JavaScript, you put dot, you put JS, which is fine. So for this, we use dot HTML and we press OK. Automatically, it create a new web template for us. It's here that we are going to write our HTML code for this web page. So we are going to write our HTML code for this web page here, and then we will run it. Maybe some of us don't know how to run it within this compiler, how to run the code. So usually you come here, you click, and then here you got open with live server. You just press open with live server OK, or you hit the mouse over it. Or maybe you don't really want to hit mouse. Some others want to use keyboard. You also use the control key here, and then it will run automatically as you press this. Or if you want to stop the server, you don't want it to connect to the web page like this. Now this one is connected to the web page. If you don't want to connect it, you also come here, you say stop live server. It will automatically stop. Yeah, you hit it and then it will stop. So now let's begin making our web page. So at first we begin with our HTML code and how to. So usually I put like strong feeling sound, like other people refers to it in so many ways, but that's how like I decide to call it. It's fine, but like you can put this sound, this mark, and then you press OK. Excuse You put this mark, then you press OK. Then automatically all these things will come. If you are using this compiler, I don't know for some other compiler, but most times I use this compiler and I just put this and I press OK. Now I'll show you how to do again. You put this, you just write this, and then you press OK, and then this will come. This is the web template. It will come, and you can write your CSS, your HTML code here. You can also write your CSS, and you can write your JavaScript code here for your web page, depending on what you want to do. So, in most cases, like some of us who just beginning, we want to write everything line by line, which is very fine. It's a good idea, but sometimes I just like to do this way. It's fast for me and it's easy for me. I just use a control, like a code, a key to write some of my stuff, and then I press OK, and then I got the formations of the page. Now this is an empty template. We try to run it to see that nothing is on this template. We try to run it now. You see, so you come here, you hit open with live server. Okay, now you see this is a very empty template. You see here, now this is the name we gave it, adv webpage.html. So if you come here, you see it's the same name we gave it here. You see, so there is nothing different here. That's what I said. I'm going to teach you step by step, line by line. So if it is your first time doing web design like this, so you won't feel lost. Everything that I will do, I will try my best to show you how it works. And if there is anything you don't understand, please leave the comment below. So I show you again. If you want to stop the live server, you just click here, and then automatically down here it will shows live server extensions, and then server is now offline. That means it's not connected to Google page anymore. You see, or if you want to continue, it's also fine. You just come, you open with live server, it will automatically open again. You have the same page. So now we include all of our codes, some of our code rather, for this web page. Okay, like now I just include this one. You can write it. Take your time please and write everything you have seen here. After then you can make the changes to anything you want. They are not permanent. You can change it to anything you want. It's fine. You can change it, which is a very good idea. But for this tutorial I have asked that you write everything of what you are saying here, so that when we are using the classes you cannot get lost easily, and then you can be on path. Now, so I want you to see this. This is how to link the CSS page. This is how to link the CSS page, and this is how to link the JavaScript page. Like I told you from the beginning of the tutorial, at most cases others want to like create or separate pages of making the website. Like you create this is an example of CSS page. This one is example of CSS page. And like let me show you some. Maybe I have JavaScript page here. No, okay, I don't have JavaScript page, but I will create one so that you can see what I'm talking about. I cannot just say it orally. Let me say h. Okay, then I put j x. Just this is just our example. Okay, now so this is like our empty JavaScript page. You see the color is quite different. You see the logo here is yellow, and for HTML the logo here is like orange or red, something like that. And you come for the CSS, the logo is always blue. You see, but before then you will always see CSS or JavaScript or HTML. If you don't put dot and you put the name at the end, you cannot get a name. You cannot get it. So one thing you remember is that whenever you are creating HTML, JavaScript, or CSS page, you should always include the name dot, and you include the name. That will simplify of like this one belongs to CSS, this one belongs to HTML. For this compiler, in most cases, this is what we usually do. So now let's come back to our tutorial. I just want you to see the difference here. So now this is the link for this page. This is the link for this CSS page. Now, how to link the CSS page with that of HTML page? So at first we just created our HTML page for this tutorial. We created our HTML page for this tutorial, which is this empty document. This empty document, we just created it to write all of our things so that we can get to this stage. And we didn't create like the CSS page. So now let us create our CSS page. So then we can link it with that of the HTML page. So we come here. You use the same name, adv webpage dot css. Oh, sorry, css. So now you see here dot css is now it has been simplified. You have identified which category is for. Now it's falling your CSS category. You just see the logo now, the sign of the CSS. Usually, like I refer to this as like the logo. Now you press OK, and you got like CSS page created. This is HTML page. This is a CSS page for this tutorial we are about to make. This is the CSS page. And what maybe some of us don't know what CSS actually means, but you can also research is fine, but maybe I cannot tell you much about it after you have research is good. But usually in web design, CSS like has to do with like the styling of the web page, how to do the design of the web page, how to create the design, like all these things, the coloring of this web page, and then the styling, how to do like this, all these things, they are all category of CSS. You see, this one have different color, this one have different color, and this one is in these formations, and this one is also in these formations. You are not seeing it being compared together. They are all CSS design. You see, so basically HTML just is all about like the formations. Rather maybe like that's other people like say the formations or the columns, what should be on the web page, information that is included on the web page. Then you use CSS now to do the design of the web page. Or JavaScript, usually JavaScript is very important. That is the basis of all. JavaScript like has to do with like the back end, how this should function, how like the performance should be. So in most cases we use JavaScript to like link the functions and things. So like now if we had this one link with database, we will link it with JavaScript, and then how information should be get extruded from that of the database. So in most cases, every one of them they are quite important. They are very quite important depending on the work you want to do. It depends on the task. So please read all of this of what you are seeing now, and then we can move to the next code. Maybe you don't want to read the link of this, and you just want to read all of your code on this page. So what people, some of us usually do is that we just post style, and then like this you press OK. Now you see here, okay, so here is style. So styling has to do with like, it's basically about CSS. Once you are doing web page design, it's basically about CSS. So you can write all of your CSS code within this page, within between this column, these two columns. Remember, it should not come out of this column. It should not go up from this column. It should always be in between this column. In between, you can write anything you want to write. Once it's basically CSS that will relate to the page design, you can write within this column. If you also want to write JavaScript, like you don't want to create a separate page like this for JavaScript, you want all of your code to be one place, you can also create a different sessions for JavaScript, which is it has to do with script. So here you see, so the differences is very good, and you cannot easily get lost. This one script has to do with JavaScript, and styling has to do with the CSS. So you see, but other than that, like I said, if you don't want your code to be one place, like the code is merged, you want it to be in separate folders, then you can erase all of this, and you just use this link have the equal, then you write the name. This is the name, and then you see the differences here, like they are all styling sheet. You see here, some most cases some people don't put style sheet here, they just write for JavaScript. So now we will link this page, this our CSS page, with this HTML page. So we come here, we write this a d. So now how do you know that like you have mistake, or maybe some other thing went wrong within the code, or the linking of the page, or maybe creating the folder? So if you read the name, just if you start to read the name and you don't see this name, the name of your CSS file being appear here, that means either you have mistake within the code, or there is a mistake within the folder. maybe the file you created some other error or something like that. So in most cases you will able to recognize it very very fast than wasting most time then so it's very very much important to always monitor what you're doing and how you are coding. It's not about writing the code, but it's all about how effective it is and reliable. So you just click here. You see CSS has been added here now. CSS added to this page. Now we are not going to add a JavaScript because what we did here was we just created a page and then later we can include the JavaScript. So after writing all of this, and now we have included the CSS link for this page, we also need to write most of our HTML code. The HTML code, there are a few other more codes to include here, but this is the menu. This is the menu for some of us who want to know this I show, and this is the menu for our HTML. Now let me show you basically what I mean. This one here, all these options, like this is the menu of what you want to select, which category you want to select on the web page, maybe for business, for movement, or for contact, news, administrators, and more, maybe for more information. All of these can be changed. It can be changed to the name you want. So, and then maybe for the information you want to enter. So now this is the menu. You see here you got home, you got news, you got contact, movement, business, and administrator. It's the same thing you have here. So you can change it. Like example I show you, maybe I try to change contact to work, and I run it. After you finish changing, you always learn to run it. So now it's changed here to work. You see, contact has been changed here to work. So this is how it works, and you can see even with the main page here, if I try to change contact to work, let me show you what I mean. Okay, here you see. So now we don't have contact anymore, we have work. So this is what I'm saying. You can change these things to what you want depending on. Okay, so we come back to our page. So after writing all of this, we also write some of our HTML code for our web page. So now let's include the other page. So like after writing all of this, you see now we just include our drop down menu. This is the drop down menu option. So I want you to also write them. We finish with this and we finish with this. Now this is the drop down menu. This is the drop down menu. Let me show you so you can see basically what I'm talking about. This drop down menu is here. Coming. Like this drop down menu, this is the drop down menu that you can scroll down and you select depending on what you want to do. If all of them, if like it was linked with something or another page, you could click on it and then automatically it changed. So this is the drop down menu. We just include now within our code. This is it. This is the drop down menu. You got more, and then you got JavaScript, C++, Python, database, Java, animation, React Native, React, and any other thing that you want to include or you decide to include by yourself is good like that. So you can change any of this just in case if you want to put your own thing, maybe for business and other thing, contact and other things that you can change. This is the menu, and this is just the drop down menu. Both of them are menu, but they have different functions and their formations are quite different. So this is one of the design of our page. So now you see, let's run it and see the reaction of how far we have come. So now you see, we have this now. This is the drop down menu we have. You see, this is the drop down menu. You see, now this is the drop down menu. You see, we got the empty stuff now. This is the drop down menu. This is it, the drop down menu here. This is it. Okay. So now what are we still having? This is that we should have. Now I'm coming. I want you to see if we didn't have, because this page is linked with the original page we were using before to show sample. So now let's link it with our own page. which is advanced web page. Advanced web page dot css. Now let's run it again. Okay, so this is the difference I want you to see. At first, we had a little error wherein we mean the name wasn't changed, and we still have like the CS our old form name. Now, the new form we created, we just include the name, and because the CSS of that form has not been included, so we just have the normal formations of the HTML. So this is the HTML option, you see, this is the move, and then all of these are the HTML. So this is how far we have come. Let's include all of our HTML code. So here you can read all of what you have seen. Please, if I'm talking fast and you are not getting anything, please try to pause the tutorial and you try to read them, because I want you to understand everything that I'm doing here. Take your time to do them, and after that you can do all by yourself. Please take your time to do them. Okay, so now after reading all of this, we include the last sections of our HTML code. So now we include the last section of our HTML code. Okay, so now this is, after we finish with this now, we just include the last sections of our HTML code. This is it, and you can see. So I'm going to scroll down and step by step so you can know what we just included. This one is like the search function, the search menu. I'll show you. Like, you come on the web page here and you got this search menu. This is the search menu. You got it. So here we just included it. This is the search menu. This is the search template wherein you see text, input tab, text, you got placeholder, you got search. Whatever, this is the class for it, and then you got JavaScript, and then a few JavaScript included, the click and other things like that. So this is the search template, you see. And now there is another template that you have some instructions, like informations. I'll show you. Like, you got this template where you got please try to write all of what I will show you in the tutorial. For this advanced login page, please try to exercise by yourself. We have made the web page, and please subscribe to and leave comment. Also leave comment below for more videos and anything you don't understand for this tutorial. You can also contact my WhatsApp number in this tutorial, and please watch the tutorial very carefully, that if there is anything you don't understand, subscribe for more videos and more tutorials. So all of these basic information is just something that I just decided to write. It is not very permanent and it is not quite important, so I just write them so you can see how you can write on a transparent image. You can also change anything from here. I just, like I said, I just write them. This is what I just wrote. You see, you can also change to anything you want. Like, please subscribe to my channel for more videos like what we have here. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos. You see. So, and some of my tutorial videos, and you see, so they are all basically all of these, they are informations that I include. You can also change them to anything you want. It's fine. You can change them to anything you want. So this is the session that we have these basic informations, and the pictures that is in the background, I will also show you it. I will also show you, which we have not come that far yet. Okay, now you see, this is the account. This is the main functions of our page. This is the main function. This account is the main reliable functions of our page. Everything we do here, we do it based on the account. That is, if I include the JavaScript, anything you click here, you should have account first, then you can have the full access. So this is the main functions of our page, and you see here, this is the the HTML. You got account, first name, last name, email, phone number, address, password. So you can change all of these to any information you want. Any of them you want, you can change it personally. Anything you want here, you can change it to what you want. You also got a password option. Now, the password option is something for in different category. They are all on the same web page, but they are on different category because password is quite different. It's something very technical to deal with. So it is in a different category from all of these. They are in another category, and this is in another category. Now you got the gender option. So you got the gender option. This is the gender option. Input, tech, radio, and then you got name. This is the class name, gen, and then you got the require. So this is the gender option, and you see everything. This is the gender option. When you click male, and then you don't click female, it won't go. So if you click female, you will not click male. So it will automatically move because you cannot click both gender for one account. For a single account, you cannot like click both gender. It won't work. So everything here is responsive. It works just the way it is coded. Now, I know some of us want to understand the few sections of the code. You got placeholder. This placeholder is like the template where we can write informations. We can input any informations like that. All of these that we can input, all of these informations, they are basically the template. See, they are basically the template, the placeholder wherein we can insert our informations, all of our personal information we can insert if you want to create our account. Now, this is also a placeholder. They are all placeholder. Anything you see here that has to do with like inserting information is a placeholder. They are all placeholder. And you also come here, you see like submit. This submit functions, this submit input here, it relies on all of this, like all of this relies on the submit. Why? Because you cannot do anything here after you must input all of these informations before you submit. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You see, I got name, I got like last name, for example, I got email, and you see. So now you see, like once you enter all of this information before you can submit, other than that you won't submit. Now you see, please fill out this text field. So let's come here and erase this. It will definitely go up because there is nothing in the text field. So like it is validated that you cannot do anything except you input the informations within this text field. So now let's see, I input text information within text field 1 and I input informations within text field 3, and you see text field 2 doesn't have information, so it will jump from 1, and when you see an empty space between this 1 and 3, it will not go. No matter how you click here, it will continue to tell you that there is no information here. Why is it like that? It's validated. So let me show you how it is validated. You see here require. This you got require at the end of the class, you got require. That means to say you cannot do anything except you give the class name. You except you input something within that template. Now let us erase the require from here. Let us erase the require and see what happens. Let us erase the require from here and see what happens. Okay. Now press okay. So now you see it automatically jump over text field 1 because text field 1 is not required. It can remain empty, it's fine. You can input information, it's fine. It is not validated anymore. But text field 2 is validated. You see? So text field 1 can remain empty. Before text field 1 cannot remain empty. So now it jump over from text field 1 to text field 2. You can only input here. If you want to input here, it's fine, but it is not compulsory that you input here because it's not required, it's not validated anymore. So we pull back the require. So now we input the require back and we run it, you see. So now if we, you see, it go automatically to text v1. Text v1 is required, is validated, so you should input or information. So I'm just showing you this, that maybe there are some template you working on and you want it to be validated. You don't want like the user to pass over anything. You can put require at the end of the class, which will help to validate it for a web page design. Then if the person want to input, they cannot just pass over anything. It also helps the user to know that they have jumped over some other things they should do. So this is just something you should know. And then you got like the submit function, which I just show you. You see here, if you scroll over a change color, these are all CSS styling, and I will show you. So for this time now, we just finished with our HTML code for this page. I want to take you to the code before we move to our CSS for this page. So this is the beginning of the code. This is the beginning. You can pause the tutorial and you go through it. So this is the beginning of the code. Okay, this is the code. Please, you can change these informations to anything you want. It has no effect on the code. All these information that are in white, you can change it to anything you want. It has no effect on the code, except for those ones that are in some other different colors, like blue and green, like this one, like yellow, and some other things that are brown. You cannot change it easily because they are linked with a class that we will include, so you cannot get things messed up. So this is basically the HTML functions. This is it. All of the code for the HTML. I'm scrolling down. This is the code. Please do not pass over anything. This is the code for the HTML. This is the code. And the code of the HTML end right here. It ends here. You see, there is nothing left. Remain, like you can see now, is empty. So basically, it's just a little code, you see, from here up here. This is all we need for our HTML. So before we move to our CSS, that we can do all of the styling to design how the color should be and the pictures all in the background, how we can include the picture. So now we just click and then we want it to see how far we have progressed. No, okay, I'm coming. Okay, this is it. We come back. So you see, this is the basic information we include. You see, like they are not in any alignment. There is no color that we identify them. Everything is almost like compiled together. It's because the way we just give them and the way they are written on the page, you see, everything here is just the same way. So now we are about to put them into formations that you can see. The maybe we want it to be like this. Okay, in this we can write them now. But one thing I want you to know is that there are some images that I'm using in the background here, and these images, they are images like in my computer that are downloaded. I can also like show you the link, and you can also like use any image of your choice is good. All of these, they are all images, just in case you don't want to use background color. Yes, you can use some images in your computer or some other devices you are working with. You can use it. So now, after making all of this, we are about to put it into category now. You see, after making all of this, this is basically HTML. You see, this is basically HTML. After making all of this, now we are about to include our CSS. This is the search. This is the search menu. You see. So now let's include our CSS so that we can get to this step. Let's include our CSS. Please, I'll show you the code once again so you cannot get lost. Please, because my main aim is that you understand all of what I'm doing here. If you cannot understand everything exactly, but at least 95% of what I'm doing here. And if you cannot get everything, please contact me. Okay, so you see from here, we scroll down again. I just want you to view the HTML code. It's the same thing. There is nothing different. It's the same thing. If you run it, you come here, you run it. It's the same thing we were on right now. You see, so there is nothing changed or nothing been move from the page. Okay, now, so here we come to our CSS. This is the CSS page we just enter now. This is the page is empty, nothing is on it. Absolutely, there is nothing on the CSS page. So we are about to include all of our basic information for the web design and then the styling of the page, so that we can get a beautiful page as we want, like this. So let's begin. At this time, I just want to show you how to write the code for the CSS. So now we have included our CSS code, half sections of our CSS code. You can read everything that you have seen here. Please, you can read them. Now, here I usually I include pictures for my background image, for my background design, like what should appear within the background. So I usually use image. But if you don't have image in your computer or whatsoever, you can also use a background color. Like the compiler have a lot of color, some nice color that you can use for the background. So you say you come here, you say background color, and then automatically there are a lot of color that will come up once you press OK. You see a lot of color of your choice depending on what you want to do. Like you can select any color, or just in case if there are some color you want that you are not seeing here, you can also include the name. Maybe you want red, and then the name will come, or you want like orange, and then the name will come, maybe yellow, something like that, and all of the name will come. Then you can select the color you want. But for this case, at first let me show you how the color works. Like I want orange, and here I want background color. Let's see, background color, like what we want here. Maybe we want pink. I'm not really good at color, please. So now this is just a sample, but I'm going to use pictures here. So this is the code we are waiting for the CSS, and it is going to work. Why it is going to work? They are both in separate pages, but because of this link, we link the name of this with this. We link the name of this. So now, any link you give here now, once is a design of the CSS, it will definitely take effect. So you see, we link it. Like I told you, this is the JavaScript link and this is the CSS link. So now we press OK. We run it, but usually you cannot run CSS here. You cannot run CSS. The run option will not come. I don't know for other compiler, but I know that you cannot run CSS. You only run it from HTML. So we will always come to the HTML page. So maybe you work with this and you try to run it. You can see the run option. You try to run it. You are not seeing anything. Then you think like you have mistake in the code. No, it's not a mistake. It's something that you should know. That is, you have to run it from the HTML. You have to run everything from the HTML web template. You cannot run it even from the JavaScript web template. No, you have to run it from the HTML web template. So now we try to run it to see how we are progress. So you see, this is the color we have gotten. You see, this is the color we have just gotten now. Everything, this is the color. We gave it pink and we gave it orange. This is the color we have come to. This is it. And you see it is in alignment, although we still have more work to do. But you see, everything is like this now. So now, all of these are working. It is not all about if you link this, then it works. No, it is not only that. You also have to link the classes. This one, the class is active. All of these got classes. All of this. This one, the class is drop down menu, drop down button. Like this drop down menu here. This is the class for it. So all of them has classes, and you see, if you come here, you see some of the classes. This is the classes for the main page. This is the classes for the web background. So now I will include some other classes to show you how all of these are working. But before then, I want to change my color to background image. I just want to change the image to background, like some other image that I have and is very good to work with. Just in case, if you also want to understand how to include image within your folder, after you have created a file, you come to your you come like this file you have created, you open this file, and then any image that you want, you can include within the file. Like some other image that you like, you can also include within the file, or you can make your own image. Like there are some design that will be coming up soon with, and like I created some images, you see, and I just screenshotted it from the from my HTML and CSS design. This image I created it. This image I created it, and then I just screenshotted it in my computer. And so we can also work on this image. Some of my tutorial that will be coming up soon is about making image design in JavaScript and HTML and CSS, like that. Basically CSS and HTML, like that. So you can also create this kind of image and something, except for this one in the center was not created, but this one, like that, to give this chocobo design or whatsoever you call it is fine, like that you can create this image. So I will show you how to do this in some of my tutorial. Just click the notifications button. So now let's move back to our tutorial. I just want you to know this. There are some images here that I also downloaded them. You can download it. Once you include it within the file, automatically as you are working within the file, it will appear. You see, these are all images in my file. These are all images. You see the file name is classical. So all of these, they are images in my file. So if I want to use the image, I just come here and I say background. Background image. Then you see URL. URL means like for web page or some other thing like that. And you just include the image. Maybe I want to include this image. You got like 36.jpg. Now, do not get lost, because even sometimes other students call me, they find problem in find like including the image within the web page, and they say, oh, the image is not working. I did all you said, and the image is not working. Sometimes it's about how you do it, because there are some images that come with JPG, there are some images that come with PNG, and then there are some images that come in different formations. So it's depending on, now okay, let's see, this image is in PNG and this image is in JPG. So if you think you just include the image and you didn't look at it well to see what the mistake is, and you just include the JPG and you want the image to appear in the background, definitely it's not going to, it won't work. So you have to include the category in which the pictures is in. Some pictures they are in JPG and some pictures they are in PNG. All of this happen with the hard work. Maybe I would say the hard work or some other reason you know best is good. But all of this happen with the hard work. The medium in which the picture has passed. Maybe you took the pictures with iPhone, you took the pictures with Samsung or some other mobiles or things, portable things that you can take pictures with, or the camera you took the pictures with. So that device has the ability to convert the pictures to JPG or to PNG or to some other formations, or the compiler that you are sending the pictures to, it has the ability to convert the pictures to JPG, to PNG, or to some other name that it best suit. So if you are including the pictures, please take best note of this, that you should see either JPG, PNG, or any other name that is notified, and you include it. If you everything at all times is JPG, sometimes the pictures will not appear in the background. So now we have included these pictures. I just want you to see, and we try to run it and see the progress we have made. Okay, so now you see these pictures we just included. This is a new picture we just included, and you see what we have in the background. This is the new pictures we just include. You see, so now basically the color, the background color we have today, it has changed because we use URL for image. So, and one thing is, you should always use URL. Do not just put background image, then you put uh parenthesis, and then you just like that. No bracket, you just something like that. No, you should always include the URL. The URL is like web something, like you can link it and then it will appear on the web. But please take note of this because most students find mistake in adding the picture. Sometimes they put JPG and it doesn't work. They think like there's an error in the code. No, it's about how you did it. So after all, including all of these pictures, I just want you to read the code of what you have seen. Everything you have seen here, you read it. Everything you see here, you just read them, and we move over. So we move over to the next code, but please read all of what you have seen because they are identified and they are defined classes within the HTML web page. So after we are finished with this, you can change the name to any name you want. It's fine with me, but please just write everything you have seen here so we can move on smoothly. Thank you. So I just included another section of the code. What I did was I actually changed the image that I wanted. So I include myself all of the image that I needed before. This is the image I included. It is still in the same file. There is nothing changed or that you can lose. Like it's the same pages. You can also include some images in your file and you use the image is fine. If you don't have image, like I said, please you can use some background color. There are some nice color you can use. It's also fine with me. It's good like that. So you can read all of this code except for the image. Please you cannot read this image because you don't have this image within your folder. So if you read this number, it won't work for you. It won't work. I don't know, but it won't work for you. Possibly it will not work. So if you don't have the image, you can just say background color, and you can choose any color you want, and then it can work for you in your background. But if you don't want to use color, you can just include some pictures in your folder and use it. So now I will scroll down so you can see some of those new code are just included. You can see them. Please you can pause the tutorial and read the code. Take your time and read them. They are all correct. You see, these are all images, background image. You see, these are all images. These are all images. These are all images. You see, these are all images. This color is for gender. This is a gender class. This is the size of the gender. Font size should be 18 pixel, and you see this is the size of the rating should be like 19 pixel. You see, everything here is like according, maybe mathematically you want to measure, but it's not exact. They are not exact. Sometimes it depends the size of your page like that. It depends the size of your computer screen, or maybe I might say like that, or some other reason. It depends the pictures you are using. This is a rating formations, the kinds of formation you want your rating to be in, and this is the positions of your pictures. You put your pictures in the center. So you see background position, the picture should always appear in the center. Now, another thing that people usually find problem with when they include images within their CSS code is they, there are some images they are very large, and then when they go on the web page, like now I show you, maybe for this image is very much large, and sometimes you have to resize it. Like this picture is portable, and then I put like in the center, it should appear in the center is good like that. But at some cases, if you have the image large, it cut into category like 1, 2, 3, that the picture cut into sections. it's on your web page, but like it cut into section, like section 1, section 2, section 3, and that it cannot be really nice at some cases. So what you do is that you just put like background repeat, no repeat. You see, background repeat, no repeat, and then you got like background cover, background repeat, no repeat, and then background cover. Like these two instructions from the HTML, these two codes, they also help to align the pictures so that like these three actually background image should be center, background repeat, no repeat, and then background cover is it helps to align the CSS. The pictures in the background CSS helps to align either that, or you also put like position absolute, positions absolute, like that. You see like the pictures would be aligned within the center, or sometimes other people, depends on the locations they want, sometimes they just put relative and then they press OK. So like that, it works for all. But like now, the pictures is okay according to my website, according to the page of this computer, the size of the computer. So I don't really need this. But if you are finding problem with some of these, you can then include like this code. You can see the studio code just in case you are including or pictures within a web page and you are not finding it easily, like you have problem, the pictures is dividing into centers, it's not in a line, then you can include the studio code, background repeat, no repeat, and then background cover, positions relative. So I erase it because I don't really need it for this code. So okay, this is what we have, and this is the width, this is the background size. Like I said, if your background is very large and sometimes the pictures you include is not really good and you are not seeing what you really want to see, then you decide the size of the background, or sometimes you just leave it at that and then the computer just work it all by itself. And sometimes too, the pictures you want, like the picture, like now this one here, it should not pass from here to down, no, it should just be in the center. So like that, you decide the width, you decide the height, the width of the pictures, you decide the height, which is it, and you decide the width. And if you want the height to go up, you always put minus, you put a negative sign. If you want the height to come down, you always increase the number without sign. But also, if you want to reduce the width, you also like put percent. Width is also always measured in percent. You can also use pixel, but at most cases, width is measured in percent for CSS programming. And then the height is always measured in pixel. So if you want the pictures to come from the side, like from this, I'll show you. If you want the pictures to come from this, like now this picture is this position and then this one is this positions, you can also use like left margin, no, margin left, margin left. You see a lot of margin here, you got margin top, that means you want the pictures to go up, or you want it to come, then you got margin left, you want the pictures to come left or go right. You got like bottom, margin bottom, like the picture should come bottom, margin right, you want it to go right, and then just like that, margin blocks end, like that. So it depends the positions you want the pictures to go in, or maybe the template you want it to go in. So this one, I put this one at this position, I also put this one at this position. Using this CSS, I can change this position, I can take this one and bring this one this way, and take this one and bring this one this way, and also change all of these positions to this position and bring this one to this. So basically that is the beauty of CSS. It helps to categorize things according to the way you want it. It helps to align things. So now you see these are all background images are included, like I told you about the background image. It depends what you want to include. So these are all the sizes of the readers. Like if you don't want the line on the side of the pages, you also include position center, padding should be 0. It should always be close with each other. If like you read this and you want this to be very close, almost very much close, then you can include the padding, and then it can be in a line with it. But if you want it to be like distance, the writing should not be so close like that, you can decide. So these are other page images are included in the for the text fee. You can see like I use different color. These are not image, they are color, but the background here is color, is image, and this one is a color. This is also a color, except for this one is an image. So you can include anything you want. Okay, so now I just want you to see this. This is the code. This is the code. This is the code. Just in case if you have not gotten all of the code, please contact me. So subscribe and contact me, which will help, and then I can share the code with you. But I'm sure you will get everything. Please. Sometimes tapping this too helps. It's not all about getting the code. So if you tap this, you can practice it. You can be familiar with it. Sometimes taking the code and just paste it, it doesn't really help a lot. But listening to the tutorial and trying to do it all by yourself as you viewing the tutorial, you can have more idea than when I just send you the code and you just copy it. So, but both way helps. So you see this way, and you got this. Like down, you scroll down. Okay, these are all with this. All of these they are classes. If you come here, these are all classes. These are all classes. You see the name class. You see me. This class is me. This class is weapon F1. And you come here. You see, let's go to this class me. You see me. Now, there are other things I also want you to know. Like sometimes if you are working with a large program and like you have sometimes if you are working with a large program and then you want to find something quick to work on, like you want to find a class to make changes, and you don't have to scroll the mouse all down before you see the classes. No, sometimes you try to use a control key, like as a programmer or someone who wants to code, learn how to code is good, you can use a control key. It helps to work time very faster, and it really helps to make your things well. So the time that you are using to scroll to look for this rating, look for this one, you can just use control key. So I usually, for me, I use control F. When I press control F, and then automatically the compiler will bring a template that I can insert anything I want. Maybe I want to search for, let's see this name, right? I just say name. You see, now it came down to name. You see, it came directly down to name. I'm searching for name, so it will go to all of the name. You just press OK, it jump to this other name, you press OK, it jump to this other name, you press OK, and then it comes back. So you only have three categories that include names. Name, all of these they are including. Okay, let's just change it to like maybe we want weapon. So see, now it brought this weapon because I included name. I'm searching for weapon, so it brought it. Now let's say we search for pass. So you see, it brought all of the pass. There are two passes. You see, this is it. So it helps you to make your work faster. It is not only for this template. You can also use it for some other template like TXS, TST file. Maybe you want something, you just like press Control F, and then it will bring you. You can search for what you want. Maybe you want style. You see, all of the style, it will bring it. It will highlight it. It will highlight it. All of the style, it will highlight it. So you can try it by yourself. As a programmer, it's good to know the control key, and then so you can work fast in time. So okay, these are some bases of how to make your work faster. So now I just want you to view the code. View the code from up. This is the beginning, and we come down. Okay, we are showing down. Change the image to anything you want, the background image, or you include your own image. Please write all of these. This is the end of it for now. So now let's run it to see how far we have gone. Let's run it. So we come here, we run it. Okay, now this is what we have. You see, these pictures have changed. The previous one we had are changed. We have changed it, and then like now this one we just changed the background image. It was pink. I changed it, and then I highlight this one too. They are all changed now. Now the menu and this rating should be in your formations. Now is what we are about to work on. Please change anything you want, except when we like you understand what you want to you are doing here is good, but please change it. Like these ones you can change it, they are now like permanent. Okay, so now we come to this and we include our CSS code again, some sections of our CSS code. Okay, so now after writing all of this is the last sections of our CSS code we just included. This one is the last section of our CSS code we just included. Now you can read them, and you see here I just want to identify it so it can be very easier for you to see the differences. Now this is the top down menu, and then we got all of this. The color it should be in the pictures that should be in the background, everything include. So this is it, and you can see. So now I will show up back so you can see the code from the start to the end. But before then I want to uh, go over it so we can see the progress we have made, then we can go into the codes. So you see this is the progress we have made, and then there are still a lot of work to do, and we still have like few more works to do. So this is it, and this rating should come in this formation, and then this one should also be in alignment. So we have not finished yet, and I just want you to see the code for this that we just include. This is the code we just include for the image. You can also change this one to your background color, and because this image you don't have it in your file, please, or you can include some image in your file. You see positions here, I got absolute because I want it to be in alignment, and you can also change it to relative is good, but depending on your web page size. You got a background cover size, it should cover, that means the picture should cover the background size, or the color of your background size should cover. The weight here is 100%, and then the height is 90%, depending on what you want. Display none. You got position flex, it should be like flexible, and then all of this. But like I said, basically you can understand all of these except you try to practice them by yourself. The practices is very much important. For someone who just beginning is good, and we can start to practice it so we can understand how these things work. You can also change the variables here. You can change those numbers that I have, and then you can see the reactions on the web page, how it works. You can change them, and you can see the reaction on the web page. So at this time I just want to read the last code, the last section of the code, so we can. So now this is the last section of the code. This is it, and you see as we scroll down here you see the codes. This is the last section. We wrote this one first, and you see. So now let's scroll down so you can see what I'm talking about. I just wrote some header here so like you can see some menu that you can identify easily. Maybe you cannot get all of what I will say exactly. So these are all menu that will identify the sessions or the code you are working with. The drop down menu, like I told you, the drop down option menu. This is it. And then all of these, the functions of it, importing and vertical alarm like that for mobile phones and things. So you can use some of these things for mobile phone, but we have not come to that far. I just include them, and this is the drop down menu content. You see, this is it. All of this. So now this is the end of the CSS code. This is the end. I will scroll up, and then I will scroll the mouse down step by step so you can see and you can get all of the code. I will also go back to the HTML codes, and then you can scroll the mouse. I will scroll the mouse rather down, and you can see everything that I will show you, and you can understand. Please read all of what you are seeing. This is the code for it, everything here, everything here. I just wrote some menu information that you can well identify it easily. So now, before then, I will run it to see how far we have progressed. Sorry, down we come this way. Okay, so I run it now to see how far we have gone. Okay, you see, so this is what we have gotten. There is no change made. You see, here is the same page we are working with. The page we created to the advanced web page.html is the same page. You got everything here. The options still work. Everything. You see, we included everything. So this is it. You see, they are all highlighting. You see, if you come here, everything you try to select. See, and you try to submit, and then they will tell you that the option like that. And then this one we didn't put require, so now let's put a require here. Let's put body require. So okay. Mm, okay, so now this is it. We put back the require and we run it because I want everything so that there will be no mistakes. So now we see if we okay now it come back to text we want. That means something should be here first before you can move to this. If you don't put anything here, it won't move. I don't care how long you press this. It will always highlight it say that this one you have not included anything. Please fill out this field. So that means it's empty and is validated. Is required first before you move to this. And if you also include this and then you didn't put anything here, you just come here, it will always alarm this. Just in case now, like we got something here like this, okay. And then we jump over this and we come this, it will always like it will stop you that you should include text or anything to section 2 of the text field. So now I will take you to the code, but before that, please, I always want you to take note of this. There are some program that will be tutorial that will come for this. All of these things you will see them soon, and you just need to subscribe and then click the notifications button so that whenever I bring some of these you can be aware, and also help to support this channel. That will help me to create more videos for this channel. And this is my WhatsApp number. This is all of my contact. You can contact me through WhatsApp. They are both WhatsApp number, and you can comment. Maybe there are some things that I said and that is not right, or maybe you have some other ideas to share. Is good. I welcome it. It should just be polite, and I will really appreciate. We can be the best friend and a good friend, at least online. I will really appreciate. But please, your comment helps. Your comment helps. Not just watching the tutorial. Please leave comment so that it can motivate me and to correct some other thing and improve the channel. Yes, so that the channel can improve, the teaching can be improved, and you can understand some things that will be beneficial to you. So now, like I said, HTML, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Java animations, and some other thing. And before at the last point of this tutorial, I will show you some other part that have been like made and some other codes, so you will see how some of the program that will come also works. But before then, please, this is the HTML session we just created for this page. I want you to see it lastly, so we move, then we can go to the CSS so you can see. uh Please do not forget, for the JavaScript I will include it later, but I need your comment. I need your subscription so that I can include the JavaScript, because the JavaScript has to do with like linking database with the program. So it's not nothing, it's not so much big, but I need to see how many people out there are really interested in this. Then I can make the JavaScript and link it, and then show you how to link it with this page. Yeah. So comment and subscribe. So before now, let's see. This is it. This is the code for our web page for the HTML section, and you see. Okay, so you see. Please type all of this words by words. So this is the end of our HTML. If I'm showing the marks very fast or faster, please you can like pause the tutorial and then try to read them step by step is good. And you can change for the white ones, those written that are in white, you can change it to anything you want. But for these ones that are in some other colorful color, you can not just change it easily because they are linked with classes. Except you have understood all of these things we did, then you can change. Is fine with me, but I have asked that you follow the steps, because if you change any class here and you don't change the class within the CSS, then it becomes a problem. It will not work like the way you think it should work. So now this is the section of the CSS. I'll show you now. Like now, see, you can change this background color to anything, the background image to color. If you want, it's fine. So I'll just show you. Please take note of all of these things. Sometimes you can change the variables and practice by yourself. Maybe the pixel and other things like that. You can change it, erase them, copy the code somewhere else, and try to erase some of them. And you see the reaction when if they are not included, what can happen or what will happen. Then you can see, and you run the page and you see the reactions. These are ways that you can learn them and to see how it really works. Some of these names I just decide to use my own name. They are not the permanent name or they are not from the compiler. I just decide to use my own name. Then please subscribe. So now I just want to take you to the codes for that of like this thing, the HTML, and some other page that I just created, some other thing that I created in a recent time, and that will be coming up soon, anytime. Please, I just want to show you. So you can see what I'm talking about. Like, so you see like these pictures, how to write on image using transparent image and then writing, then the image is in the background. There are some things I will also be tutorial. I will do tutorial for this, but I need your subscription and your comment. You see like how to write on images and then that pass over. You see like or no, you giving your informations out there. You see, so all of these things they are all included. How to write in on images. You see how to write on images, how to write on images. So other than this, like there are some other tutorial that will be coming up, and I just want to show you too. Just a minute so you can see. No. Okay, like this one. Okay, so like this, you see like this tutorial is already up. I think you can check them and how to do this. I did this like yesterday, and then you can see how this work and things like that. But this is not really my aim. I just want you to see like some other things that were included, and you see like now, so this is the administrators. Okay, so now this is what I want to show you, like how to make things to pass, like you doing or with design something like web design in a form that you want people to view the images after some times like that. So all of these will be coming up soon. I need your subscription and to support this channel. All of these will be coming up soon. You see, like the pictures can you can add pictures as many as you want, and then there is information, the contact number, like it can pass over just the or logo. You can pass. You have other things here. These are all sessions that are all included and will be coming up soon. You can make a whole website all by yourself. It doesn't depend on like how long you have been programming. No, it's all about how willing you are. Like all of these, like making this image in the background, I can also like we can do it all by ourselves here. Within this channel, we can do it. There are a lot of things will be coming up on this channel. You will see pretty soon. Yeah, you see how to do this. This is JavaScript include with that of CSS and HTML. How to do this like that. Define beauty. How to make bubbles like move over. So actually, there are a lot of things will be coming out, and like how to make image pass over after one another. After some time, images scroll over automatically. No one is touching it. It's just showing, and then like it's showing a logo. You can add as many images as you want here, and it will show you. So there are a lot of things coming up, and I just want you to know to subscribe to this channel and contact. So there are a lot of things will be coming up soon. Okay, so like a lot of things will be coming up, and let's see this what we have here. This one we have already shown. Okay. Okay, okay, let's see what we have here. So they are bedroom, and then like I include a lot of categories like for this thing. The first one was apartment, but this one is just like in a house that you can show out to people. Maybe someone want to you to do some things for them that you can make others to view the pictures nicely, just like this. We can resize the images in this form like that. So but before then, please, I just want you to see this lastly, and to know that there are good things will be coming up on this channel, and there are some things maybe you want for me to teach on this channel. You can also like include a comment so I can able to include them and to help to teach on this channel. And maybe there are some things that I've said in this tutorial. Please help to leave your comment and how you feel like it should just be polite, so that I can help. That way helps me a lot to improve this channel. Please, and please subscribe. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.